The Goldberg Variations sit among the most iconic and recognisable pieces of music ever written. But the legend behind the Goldbergs is just as fascinating as the music itself. To start understanding the Goldbergs, we need to go back 300 years and meet Johann Sebastian Bach. In his time, Bach was a celebrated performer, composer, and father, who was frequently approached by the upper classes to write new music. That's Count Kaiserling. According to legend, he suffered from insomnia and asked Bach to write something to cheer him throughout his sleepless nights. Bach rose to the challenge, writing Kaiserling an aria and 30 variations for Kaiserling's harpsichordist to perform. The harpsichordist's name? Johann Goldberg. Whether or not the legend holds true, we like to think that Kaiserling got some rest, because after the 1740s, the Goldbergs certainly did. More than 160 years later, a Polish harpsichordist named Wanda Landowska rediscovered the Goldbergs and gave them their first recording on a wax phonograph. But if Wanda blew in the winds of change, it was pianist Glenn Gould who brought the storm. The eccentric Canadian's 1955 debut recording rocketed both him and the Goldbergs into the international spotlight. Suddenly the Goldbergs were everywhere, and the world's great pianists took up the challenge to perform and reinvent the now iconic piece. Gould, however, wasn't satisfied with his original recording, and 26 years later took to the studio to reinvent the Goldbergs in a second recording that would astound the world once again. Now, there's a new character emerging in the legend of the Goldbergs. Strings. A forward-thinking conductor named Bernard Labadie has reinvented the Goldberg Variations as a piece for string orchestra, which Richard Tognetti and the ACO will share with Australian audiences for the very first time. That pivotal moment is where we are now. But it isn't the end. The sheer genius of Bach and his Goldberg Variations ensures that they will continue being reinvented for years to come, as the legend continues.